8:30 high beam time now, and speaking of being away, Robert Bray was away for a while. He was not in Margaritaville, as the rumor was going around, but he was in someplace even more dangerous, right, Robert?
I gave everybody else a vacation from the afternoons, and they didn't have to listen to me on there. So,
welcome back, and officially this afternoon. But you were on a working trip with Empower Tusk, a group from the county, and doing some very important work here in the communities.
Well, yeah, back in October, whenever there's a coalition, they always need a media segment of those coalitions, and I volunteered to do the media part of that and help with that, and now I'm the media chairman somehow. I don't know how that worked out. Yeah, that's what I for volunteering. But Empower Tusk, they've been well known in the area for years. They're also known as the Anti-Drug Coalition. You've had Jody Salvo and Carrie Metzger on here several times, but excuse me, they there was this, the changeover. There's things happening there, and in fact, Empower Tusk, they cover alcohol prevention for youth, marijuana prevention for youth, tobacco prevention, prescribed drugs prevention, when the misuse of prescribed drugs. Now they picked up suicide prevention, which is just this huge, big issue. And they're a faith-based recovery group. And also now we've taken on gambling, from the first of the year.
Thus, Anti-Drug Coalition didn't cover everything that needs to be done.
Time to rebrand. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. They became Empower Tusk. Well, along with that, I'm trying to get a handle on exactly what everything they're involved in. So I got the offer to be able to go to Washington, D.C., under their dime and everything else, so they could, explain to me, show me around, do some things. And so that's what I did last week. And when we went there, the first day of the event, and I'll go back a little bit, but the first day of the event was substance abuse and mental health services, and it was a prevention day. So you can imagine what all involved in that when you start talking about mental health services, abuse, that's drug abuse, tobacco abuse, all that stuff, and that was a whole prevention day. And then the rest of the conference was involved with the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America, which included Empower Tusk. Some interesting facts about this. When we got there, there were approximately 600 people waiting to check in to the hotel. And here their hotel's computer system went out.
Oh.
600 people. Unbeknownst to me till I got there, you want to guess how many people attended this event from all across the country?
It was more than 600, I bet.
4,000 people.
Wow.
I haven't seen 4,000 people in one place since we did that surprise birthday party for you years ago, Brad, and that's the only time. Of course, we told everybody John Bon Jovi was going to be there.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, that took off, and there was just several different classes to get an understanding, and we took two youths with us, not youths, and one from Strasburg and one from, there was one from Tuscarawas Central Catholic went.
Yeah.
And so they got to kind of give us some insight too. And so what we got to do is, one of the things we got to do, actually out of the 4,600 of them were youths. So,
wow, that's a bunch.
Yeah. So part of this was we got to go see all of our congressmen that were there. And I wasn't aware of this, and I probably should have been because I'm on the radio, but Tuscarawas County's divided in half, not up and down, but kind of different ways, diagonally somewhat. And we have two federal congressmen that cover Tuscarawas area. So we got to go visit both of them. We got to go see Congressman Balderson that covers part of the county. Then we also got to go see Bill Johnson that covers the rest of the county. And the reason we go there, we take the youth, and the youth have more punch as to what's going on in the communities. And they got to talk to the congressman. The congressmen were very impressed. Congressman Balderson was so impressed he may even have one of the youths testify at a federal hearing at some point. So there's a lot going on there. And my mind was, in fact, I was chastised by Congressman Balderson because I was in the media and I hadn't talked much. And I said, if you knew me, that is a record. I'm just listening and gathering all this in. So we were able to do that and just meet a whole lot of people. And there's some from Ohio, some from all over the country. Some of the things that they get involved with, the segments that were successful, some that weren't, and they wanted to get that word out. But it was an excellent group that was there because they all had the same interests to try to help. And with Empower Tusk through awareness, education and prevention. That's what they do. They partner with other people. They just don't take on these things and go, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We do a lot of things with the Tuscarawas County Health Department. We do a lot of things with when we got involved in suicide, a lot with the mental health thing and the Adams Board. They're involved. We just have a lot of groups involved in this and a lot of volunteers. And I'm hoping to see down the line that I think it's important that the youths have an opportunity to talk to their peers. You and I can't sit there and tell kids to stay off drugs, quit vaping, quit doing this. They got to have their own folks come up with some ideas. So what they're trying to do now is create some public service announcements, involve the kids to the kids.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Through all of this, and I'll ask you if you had any free time, but you take time to digest, and then is there an end result that is being hoped for after this?
Yeah, we Empower Tusk meets once a month, and then all the subcommittees meet on their own meetings once a month and report back to the main meeting. And a lot of this stuff's going to be conveyed into the different branches and what we learned and what we can maybe put in place around here that maybe hasn't been yet. And and try to just make everything better and give the best. This is a war on drugs. Well, this is just a huge battle going on. And I got to meet with the director of the DEA. And they talked about these pills that are being pressed, fake pills that are being pressed, and they're fentanyl.
Yeah.
And they're killing people all over the country. And also, excuse me, you can tell I'm having a little trouble talking today. We also got a chance to meet the author of the book called Dope Sick. And that is now on Hulu. It's starring Michael Keaton. And it talks about rural America and how the opioid epidemic took over and how the pharma's just said, oh, there's a 1% chance of being addicted to hydrocodone or whatever, and then they just spiraled. And it's a TV series on Hulu, so that was interesting too. So we take these ideas, what can work, what can't work, and we get some other ideas, and hopefully we can implement them to help the area out.
Anything else? Did you have any free time? Did you get to see anything fun?
Most of my free time was trying to find food that was cheaper,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're a captive audience in Washington, D.C., and food is not cheap. And I also want to put a thank you out to Empower Tusk for helping me take this trip, because it was an eye-opener. Hopefully I can pass some word around. We'll have some PSAs that public service announcements are going to work on and try to get some of those out.
Would you, or are you invited to ever do that again?
I don't know unless they got a picture of me and realize they don't want me back. Who knows? But, the opportunity to have other people go and see this is important too, with me being able to see it once and having other people being able to go see it as they come into the coalition. It's very important for people to understand what exactly is going on out there and that it's not really pretty right now for the youth of the area. Well,
I'm glad that they got to have input. Vaping is a completely huge problem right now in that age group.
Right. Vaping it's not just the vaping parts, what's in the liquid of the vaping. We're starting to talk about fentanyl is going everywhere and slipping in everywhere. They had a lot of information about people taking Vicodin and only taking a half a pill, and it had a little bit of fentanyl mixed with it, or it was a fake pill altogether and was nothing but fentanyl and killed them. And that's just it's terrible to have that happen.
All right. Well, we'll look for the announcements, listen for them, I guess, and keep us up to date, or have Jody come in, or whatever we need to do.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be on this side of the mic for a change today. So thanks, Brad.
It's good to have you. So
Thank
now
you.
I hope you feel a little better.
We'll see. Monday's in jeopardy, my afternoon show. I'm going to work on it. So if you don't hear me, don't get concerned. I might give it another day to get a little better.
All right. We'll give you that. That's Robert Bray representing Empower Tusk this morning on our 830 High Beam.